All right, welcome to the video. My name is Chris Wolf with the Wolf Real Estate Group at eXp Realty. Today, I'm just going to take a few minutes and talk about the data that is in the quarterly publication I put out, the Serrano Market Report. I try to, discuss things on a national and statewide level in real estate, but more importantly to you, what's going on in our local market in El Dorado Hills, and then more specifically, what's going on in Serrano. So that's where I live. It's a wonderful community, and it's obviously very dynamic and has its own attributes. So, trying to show some different trends so that if you're looking to either buy a home in here or sell your home or potentially build, then you can kind of time things appropriately to hit your objectives. So, without further ado, let me just dive into a couple statewide trends. So, California median home price reached $838,000 in January of 2025. So, that's about a 6.5% increase from last year. Most importantly, though, I think that home sales are expected to rebound with a projected 10.5% increase in transaction volume by the end of this year. So it seems like not a lot of stuff has been trading. Not There's very little inventory in the market, and then buyers are obviously very cautious too because there was a lot of uncertainty in the market over the last couple of years, and I think that's going to start changing. So we're not going to see interest rates plummet down like they were, but people are continuing to have life events, and they want to just move and get into a bigger home. And now that we kind of have some stability in the market, we're going to start to see more of that happen. So it's projected from at least a level in California, we're going to have about a 10.5% increase in transaction volume, which is good if you're looking to sell. So going into the inner part of the Serrano Market Report, I just want to point out a couple of things. So as far as the average sales price in Serrano, this is actually decreased by about 2%. So as of Q1 of 2024 to Q1 of 2025, we've gone from 1.44 million down to 1.409. So a slight decrease, but the most important thing here is if you actually look at 2024 as a whole, we saw the average sales price dropping, and then Q1 of 2025, we started to see that rebound and come back up. And that actually correlates here with, I think, a more important piece of data, which is the average days on market to sell. I think my camera's like bouncing. I don't know. The average days on market to sell. So Q1 of 2024, beginning of last year, 51 days was the average day on market to sell a home in Serrano specifically. This is just in this neighborhood. And then you saw that steadily increase throughout the year, all the way to the peak. The last quarter of 2024, it was an average of 80 days on the market, and it's still pretty normal. But it seems much higher than it was. Obviously, it's by about 40% higher than it was in the beginning of the year. So even if your property was priced appropriately, it wasn't moving as quickly as you'd expect or hope it to. But most importantly, the beginning of this year, we've seen that drop from 80 days in the market all the way down to 56. So the average day on market now is starting to reverse trend as well. And I've noticed that just seeing several of the homes in my direct area that were perhaps listed for sale, all of a sudden start to go pending. We're starting to see some activity. So the beginning of this year has actually been pretty strong, and I think that's going to continue throughout 2025. So I don't think we're going to be in a red hot real estate market, but we are going to see volume starting to happen. So if you're looking to sell, if you price appropriately, you market correctly, use a great agent, all those things, there's no reason that you can't sell. And versus last year, you could have been marketed appropriately, priced right, and you're still, getting a little frustrated because the home might not be selling. So I think that trend is reversing, and that's kind of what these indicators show me here. And again, this is specifically for Serrano. Average percentage received of asking price. So this is another positive indicator for the real estate market. Q1 of 2024, sellers were getting about 97% of what their asking price was. And the beginning of this year, now sellers are getting about 98.5% of what their asking price was. So that's increased by about 1.5%. And so that's positive. And part of that is because people are starting to price more realistically. So they're getting that closer to asking price. But again, it's just a positive indicator. And then on the other side of this cover, you can see just kind of some of the highest sale prices here in Serrano. Not highest sale prices, but the highest priced homes that are either active, pending, or sold in the neighborhood. And this is this is an interesting data point. If you look at some of the top two priced homes, there's one on Raphael, one on Western Sierra, about $3.5 million for both of them. One of them is on the market for 400 days. Beautiful property. It's right around the corner for me. I've seen it be built and be on the market. And that just went pending in February. And then the other highest one on Western Sierra just went pending just a few days ago at the end of March. So some of these higher end homes are now starting to move. And so I feel like the market is starting to unlock. Again, my advice would be I don't think that the market's going to be some red hot real estate market. But if you did want to make a move and you are looking to sell, just make sure you do everything right, which I talk about in other videos. And there's no reason that you can't this year. As for the bottom here, you can see the Serrano inventory level is very low. We got 33 homes on the market total. That's still under a 3-month supply. And a normal real estate market, just so you know, is a 6-month real estate supply. And that seems like a lot, but historically, that's what is considered a normal, healthy market. We're still very low in Serrano. We've got under 3 months supply, and in El Dorado Hills, it's almost 2.5 months supply with 157 homes available. So I hope this information is helpful if you live in this neighborhood. I mean, just to know kind of what things are doing, even if you plan on never leaving your home except in a pine box. This is good information just to know, like, what is your property truly worth? If you want to dive more into that, you can go onto the QR code on the screen. Well, not on this screen. This is not the printed version. But when you have your physical copy of the Serrano Market Report, you can go on that QR code and you can. I subscribe to the best data available. You can put in a couple parameters and it'll give you a home valuation. But if you want something really, really accurate, you can shoot me a text. My number's all over the video and also the Serrano Market Report. Shoot me a text and just give me your address, maybe a couple pictures of the kitchen, bathrooms, just so I can see kind of what the home looks like. And I will give you a totally comprehensive, completely free, zero obligation detail report on what your home is truly worth, whether you want to sell or not. I'm happy to do it. I live in this community, love helping people and imparting some knowledge on them. So if you do want to sell or you do want to buy in this neighborhood, obviously I think I'm the best for the job. So reach out to me. You can get a hold of me on my cell phone, 559-289-8218, or Chris@chriswolfrealestate.com, Chris@chriswolfrealestate.com. So appreciate you watching. Have a great 2025, and we'll see you around the neighborhood. Okay, bye-bye.